Hiya, it's Bree, your Salesforce Study Buddy to help you pass your sales admin test. So let's get going. How can multiple campaign records be associated with a single opportunity? A, primary campaign source, B, campaign members, C, campaign hierarchy, D, campaign influence. So A is incorrect because use campaign influence to relate multiple campaigns to an opportunity. Campaign members is incorrect because members are contacts or leads associated with the campaign. Campaign hierarchy is incorrect because associating campaigns using a lookup relationship allows you to group campaigns with a specific marketing group or project. So that doesn't work. But D, campaign influence, is correct because you use campaign influence to relate multiple campaigns to an opportunity, and that is what the question is asking. How can a system administrator discover who added a field to an account page layout? A, create a poll in the admin chatter group. B, run an account history report. C, review the account last modified by field. D, download a setup audit trail. So the first one is set up an admin chatter group. That's incorrect because that's a poll and people don't necessarily have to answer it, so it's not going to do anything, right? It won't help you track who did it. So B, run an account history report. That's incorrect because running a report will only show changes to the account page. C, review the account last modified by field. This is incorrect because account modified by might show you a change that was made after the information you would be looking for. So it would be D, set up an audit trail. When a Salesforce user is deactivated, what happens to all the records the user owns in Salesforce? A, they are automatically deleted. B, they are automatically assigned to another user. C, they are automatically assigned to the administrator. D, they are assigned to the deactivated user until reassigned. So this one, they are not deleted. The records that they created are not deleted, so A is out. They are automatically assigned to another user. That's out because you would have to go in and assign them. That's not something you can build with Flow or have an automatic thing. They are automatically assigned to the administrator. That's the same thing as B. It doesn't automatically go to anyone. So D, they are assigned to the deactive user until reassigned. So you as the admin would need to go in and reassign them to another user. How should a sales rep create an all-day event in Salesforce? A, ensure that the event is scheduled for times within the start and end of the day hours. B, check the all-day event in the checkbox on the event. C, use the task for an all-day event because there are no time fields are needed. D, as a system administrator, check all-day events are in the activity settings. So the sales rep themselves, when they're creating their tasks and events for the day, need to check the box, so it's going to be B. Sales representatives at Ursa Major Solar are working on opportunities and need to see how their colleagues have efficiently managed other opportunities with comparable products competing against the same competitors. So essentially, what can you do to help the sales reps? A, big deal alerts. B, chatter groups. C, opportunity dashboards. D, opportunity update reminders. So I'm going to go with opportunity dashboards because then they can see what other opportunities other sales reps are working on. And then B, chatter groups, so they can talk about it with each other. A system administrator enables case feed actions and feed items in support settings. With the appropriate profile permissions enabled, what change will users see? A, case will use the feed layout rather than the standard page layout. All case buttons will be converted to actions in the case feed. Case feeds will no longer be hidden on the standard page layouts. All case fields will be added to the chatter feed tracking. So here's what's important from this slide, and just know this for the test. If you change anything to feed, everything will change to the feed layout, not the standard page layout. They might word it a few different ways on the test, but it's going to be on the test. It will all change to feed layout. An administrator is setting up case feed. What should the administrator consider? A, chatter feed tracking must be enabled for the case object. The Service Cloud user feature license is required for the case feed. The user case feed permission is automatically active on all profiles. B, by default, the case feed replaces the standard case detail page. So we have A, cheddar feed tracking must be enabled for the case object. High priority cases need to get responses in less than 3 hours or escalated to a queue called high priority queue. An administrator needs to configure the case management process to implement this requirement. How should the administrator achieve this goal? This is super important. It's on the test. It was on like 3 of my pre-tests, and it was on the test that I failed and the test that I passed. So make sure you learn this. And it's got a tricky thing in it because it has the 3 hours or escalated to a queue. Keep that in mind. Create an escalation rule to assign all cases where status equals high to high priority queue based on when the case is created. Create an assignment rule to assign all cases where status equals high to high priority queue. Create an escalation rule to assign all cases where status equals high priority or priority queue based on the last modification time and set it to over 3 hours. Create a case milestone to assign all cases where the status equals high to high priority queue based on the last modification time and aged over 3 hours. So we know that we need to set up a queue for high priority, and if it's not touched in 3 hours, it needs to escalate, and so C is the best answer for this. The system administrator will use the import wizard to update existing account records. Which values can the import wizard use to find matching records? Create by field, parent account field, account name and site fields, address fields. So we know that account name and site fields, sites are addresses. An administrator is configuring a workflow rule. What are 2 considerations for administrator in this situation? Choose 2 options. Rule actions can take place immediately or can be time-based. Before the data wizard is used, rules must be deactivated. When a new rule is active, each existing record is evaluated. Rules can be evaluated when records are created or edited. So A says rule actions take place immediately and can be time-based. This is correct. That's one of our good answers. So B, before the data import wizard is used, rules must be deactivated. That's incorrect. The data import wizard will still run with the workflow rules. C, when a rule is activated, each existing record is evaluated. That's incorrect. Workflow rules can be triggered at any time a record is saved or created, so it doesn't go back. Someone has to edit the record and then it will trigger it. So D, rules can be evaluated when records are created or edited. We just talked about this. Yes, when they're edited or created, they will be evaluated. So we have A and we have D. Hi, and thank you for watching. If you made it this far, that's pretty awesome. That was 10 questions that will help you on your Salesforce exam. Remember not to memorize the question and answers, but rather how we got there. And I will be doing a couple more of these decks. And then also the flashcards for them. If you want to see those, they'll be around. And thank you, and good luck on your test.